and welcome to this show, which is hoping to address all your education and job queries. If you need help on what course to study and where, or are looking for some guidance as you apply for your dream job, well, look no further. Mindspace, as we are calling it, is the one place that is looking to get all those queries answered. Remember, if it matters to you, it matters to us. Just reach out to us. You can email us or even tweet us along with sending us your recorded message on our online page. And our big focus today, it's an industry that's growing in India and one whose demand, experts say, could grow rapidly in the years ahead. We're talking of animation, which isn't limited to cartoons anymore. From ads in Indian mythology to Hollywood, Indian animators are in great demand. So if you're creative and want to tell a story this way, here's how you can do it.
What is common between movies like Titanic, Life of Pi and Bollywood movies like Ra.One and Krish? Besides being top grossers at the box office, these movies have used special effects and animation. When one thinks of animation, the first thing that comes to our mind is cartoons. But animation is much more than that. The animation industry in India encompasses 2D and 3D animation, visual effects, graphic design and gaming. According to a report by the Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India in 2010, the animation and gaming industry in the country is growing at 32% every year. Though it still remains a tiny speck in the animation business worldwide, just 0.6% of the global animation and gaming market. As people accept animation isn't just for children, the industry is growing steadily, with Delhi, Bangalore and Mumbai being the top spots for animation training institutes. Students can study animation after graduating from class 12, with courses ranging from 6 months to 3 years. Most training institutes cover the basics of visual effects, 2D and 3D animation and graphic design, after which students choose their interests and specializations. One of the main reasons why the animation industry is booming in India is because of the revenues it gets from outsourcing. Big international production houses outsource work to Indian studios for feature films and gaming development due to the benefits of low production costs and strong creative and technical skills.
इंडिया में भी एनिमेशन एंड विजुअल इफेक्ट्स वीएफएक्स इंडस्ट्री भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा बूमिंग स्टेज पे है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे मेजर हॉलीवुड स्टूडियोज इंडिया से काम करवा रहे हैं एंड बहुत सारी हॉलीवुड मेजर मूवीज भी इंडिया में ही बन के बाहर जा रही हैं.
Indian animation companies are also developing content on their own, working to establish their presence on the global animation market. Popular TV shows like Shaktiman, Chhota Bheem and Tenali Raman only show the acceptability and demand for animation and special effects in the country.
नॉर्मल मूवीज़ में भी 3D काफ़ी यूज़ किया जा रहा है. एक्शन मूवी शूट ना करके हम उसको विजुअल इफेक्ट्स और 3D में कन्वर्ट करके शो कर सकते हैं.
With good drawing skills and creativity a must to make it in the industry, animation proves to be an exciting option for those of you who want to mix your love and talent for drawing with your passion for technology. In New Delhi with Mohammad Arif, Kriti Mathur for Ndtv.
But time now to hear from someone who's doing this day in and out, who knows the world of animation, right, as an insider. We're now joined by Dhruv Randhawa, filmmaker and animator. Dhruv, thanks very much for coming in. I know that everyone keeps underscoring this point that it's not just about cartoons, but that is a starting point, right, for you as well. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, I was always fascinated by cartoons when I was a toddler, and I always used to go up to the TV room and watch cartoons, so much so that I even earned the name of TV Randhawa. And it was like, everybody used to tease me that you're always watching cartoons, and the folks were like, okay, grow up, grow up, grow up. At the end of it, I think they just gave up and said, okay, just pursue it.
Yeah, what was your favorite cartoon?
Tom and Jerry.
Oh,
that's
really?
the all-time favorite.
Mine too. So are you eventually going to make a cartoon that's going to sort of be as funny or as sort of go down as, is that the ultimate aim, to beat the Tom and Jerry at their own game? Or?
Yeah, somewhat, somewhere there. Yeah, because I was always fascinated when you have this whole world that you can create. That is what actually got me into animation.
I see.
And then from animation, I took it to filmmaking, commercials.
Filmmaking, commercials, where also you are integrating it with animation.
Yes.
Right?
I have used actually a lot of my knowledge from animation and visual effects and done a lot of commercials, films. A lot of people think that films is just shooting. It's not only shooting. You actually start to integrate what you've learned in animation, in the post, and then you combine it together to make that experience.
Right.
And it is something that people today have an opportunity. Like even when I had started out, it was not that it was a stable career. Now it's become a very stable career somewhere down the line.
Because the demand is increased.
The demand is increased. The ways that you can use it has also increased. You know, it's not that it's
been
just
used in different sectors. For a whole
different
host of
sectors.
purposes.
I mean,
Right,
it can be
right.
graphics. It can be for the smallest thing. Like people use display pictures today. You still want to make yourself look animated like a comic character or a superhero or something or the other.
Right.
Even that is used over there, you know. So people, I know actually a lot of my friends, they are super obsessed by making themselves like, oh, I want to be like Superman or Superwoman and things like that.
Yeah, the superhero that
Yeah,
sort of
it-
lurks
yeah,
inside all
yeah.
of us, yes, or the desire to be one,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I mean, that is what actually got me into it.
So tell me one thing. There's also been among the work that I've been reading, has also been a feature on a short feature on homosexuality.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about it, because there seems to have been a lot of buzz around it.
Yes. Actually, what happened was that I stumbled onto making a film like that because I was just doing an animation. I was doing an animation course, and a few friends just said that during the 377 Act and
Yes,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So we said, why not make a student film on it? And we used a lot of animation because a lot of people were hesitant to act.
I would imagine.
So much so
sort of
that I had to
given the
also,
taboo. Right.
so much so that even I had to act in it because we couldn't find anybody else.
Right.
And ultimately, it got a lot of acclaim at the Kala Ghoda Film Festival and Bhai Das Film Festival,
Right.
name it. So I think that is where I realized that, you know, you can use animation and filmmaking and combine the whole
Exactly.
experience altogether.
Some sort of a union there,
Yeah,
which perhaps can lead to a good product. Now, tell me one thing. You know, something that I hear very often, and you would know this better than most, is, you know, look how great animation is in the West. Look at the great stuff that they're doing. I mean, it happens all the time, doesn't it? If there's a new animation film in the market or you know, in the theatre, and you're seeing it and saying, oh, wow, these guys just do such a good job. And then there's so much chest beating. Where are we? Hum kya kar rahe hain? Why can't we produce something like that? Well, how would you respond to all of that?
Actually, it's not that we are not trying to compete. A lot of things, funnily enough, are outsourced to India also.
Yes, which is what I just discovered in that report there. But then when we make something, why don't we sort of see that class always?
Maybe sometimes people don't want to see the class also.
I see.
You know?
So you mean say it's a conscious decision?
Yeah, it's a conscious decision that people want to keep it a bit not too classy so that people can assimilate it. I mean, there are not a lot of films which are very classy do not go to the masses. The masses have to actually.
But in animation, a classy film is just like a really well made film, like Lion King, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, you look at it and you're like, oh, how did they do this?
Yeah, but the thing is, now today if you see Lion King or you see something like Beowulf, now tell me, now that doesn't look that great.
True.
I mean, even if you see James Cameron's Avatar, 20 years from now, you'll say, what is it?
Yeah.
It's nothing that great. So, I mean, it's going to evolve.
So you're saying it's like a phase.
It's a phase.
And where are we? How far do you think? Is the glass half full or half empty?
Actually, it's more than half full. We are
Really?
not that far behind.
Really?
You'd be surprised. Because there are
I am, as I hear you.
Yeah. No, like even, let's say for example, Krish 3, there's so many films. People think it's just been shot. It's not just short. It's got a lot of motion graphics. It's got VFX, everything to do with animation. If you actually go behind the scenes and see what people are up to, it's a lot to do with post-production and animation and VFX also.
But a lot of these big guys, again, tend to look for animation skills in the West and then use them for that. Do you find that frustrating, or do you think it's a matter of time before?
It is. But slowly it's coming into India, yes.
Right.
I mean, it is going to take time, but there are lots of avenues still. I
Right.
mean, there's graphics now. For books. There's so many people and so many young designers who design book covers.
Right.
Okay, there are other things like posters. A lot of young students who have their college bands, they want to create a
Looking
mascot.
at stuff like this.
You know, so they are more fascinated because they want to create that identity. I think they've been given an opportunity now. You know, the opportunity is opened up where I think 5 years back it wasn't there at all.
Right. And now there is. This
Yeah.
As we wrap, just one quick question. What next for you?
Well,
What's your next big goal?
my next big goal, actually I'm working on it. I'm
Not a Tom and Jerry, improving Tom
no,
and
not
Jerry.
a Tom and Jerry, but yeah, my thing is basically to make animated commercials to make people aware of things. I'm actually working on a small project, a small animated film only on global warming,
I see.
but put it in a very subtle manner.
Right. And that's something that all of us should be sitting up and taking note of.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that film. Dhruv, thanks very much for coming in. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much. All the best. Thank
Okay.
you. Right, so is that something that you believe could be straight up your street, something you'd like to try your hand at? Well, let's see if that works for you. Keep your queries coming in. We have our expert, Usha Albuquerque, with us. Thanks very much, ma'am, for coming in. First and foremost, I mean, as we saw in that report there, many of us, me included, could, was perhaps under the impression that, it's largely cartoons or making, cartoon-related characters for children and so on. But clearly animation has moved to another level.
Yeah, more than that, because when it started with Mickey Mouse, you had everybody doing hand drawings. Today, because of the computer, it's that much easier. And now it's moved into so many different areas. You can work as an animator, you can work in the film industry, which is a major area, film, television, advertising. But in addition, there's interactive media, where you're working on a lot of interactive CDs for educational purposes, language classes, a lot of e-learning is done through interactive CDs. And the other big thing is gaming.
Right.
Gaming is becoming very huge, and this is one area where quite a number of young people want to get into.
Let's get started with the questions right away. Gaurav has a question. Go ahead, Gaurav.
हम जैसे ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनिंग कंप्लीट करते हैं उसके बाद जब हम जॉब के लिए जाएं तो हमें एक्सपीरियंस कितना होना चाहिए नॉर्मली और कंपनीज मोस्ट ऑफ रिक्वायर्ड जो लेती हैं मोस्ट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स या एम्प्लॉयज़ लेती हैं वो एक्सपीरियंस लेती है ज़्यादातर तो फ्रेशर्स के लिए कितनी डिमांड होगी
What I would say to you, Gaurav, is that because this is a relatively new field and because there aren't that many people who are trained to handle the kind of jobs that are required and a wide variety of jobs, that you could apply to an organization where they will not take you on for your experience, but what you have learned. So what tools can you use? What software are you familiar with? Some of them may even test you and carry out a test to see how good you are. Some may expect you to do a portfolio, to make a portfolio
Some way to see whether you sort of measure up
what kind of
where
work
you
you've
fit in.
done, what work you can handle, and then present it to a potential employer.
Do we need to do any master course after this graphic designing course like we are doing 14 months course?
Graphic design or anything which is creative is a talent-based career. So it really depends on the talent you have and the expertise you have picked up and what you can develop and deliver to a potential client. So once you have learned the basic tools and you know how to use your creativity and you have some technical design skills, then you don't need any degree course after that.
What do employers look for when they are speaking to all these youngsters out there, getting these degrees and coming out? What really are their top requirements when they hire people? Well, just let's listen from some of them.
There is a misconception that animation is a technical field. It is purely an artistic field. You should have basic drawing skills. You should have appreciation towards fine art. Having, experience in fine arts is good. But even if you can appreciate new things, if you can get inspired by new things, then that helps in the final creation that you're going to do.
That's an important point. It's not technical. There's a lot of you have to be an artist first before you might be the best with the technical side of it, but you're an artist first.
Yeah, absolutely, because you have to generate original and innovative ideas. And that's very important.
Thanks very much, ma'am, for coming in, taking time out to take all those queries there. Remember, you can always keep writing to us. So we're slipping into a quick break now, but coming up after that, in this day and age, if you cannot afford a fancy real estate space, well, we just might have a solution as you're starting out on your business.